on the Part for the List
that does not miss.
on episode 114 of Top Rope Right Now. I'm Hogan.
I'm Justin Cobb.
And let's start talking about WWE stars that failed as
the guy. Not a good guy. Not a bad guy. But the guy.
Down your throat.
Yes. Is Roman on this list?
He was first one.
Haha, it's funny.
Well, let's start with number 10. Here is this guy here, right here, Mr. UFC.
Mr. UFC. Mr. Phil Brooks.
CM
Evolution. I think that's the name of their little TV show or they're doing or whatever it is. CM Punk's rise to the top of the WWE was very inspiring and well-deserved after being snubbed, not old Jerry Stubbs, snubbed for years. That's an old reference y'all mostly will not get. His tremendous promos showing an edgy nature of content that was missing in the product made Punk the new voice of the fan. He liked it a lot.
I did.
Punk's momentum slowed down following horrible booking involving losing matches to Triple H and getting beat up by Kevin Nash. That would ultimately doom his chances of success when Punk eventually became the top guy towards the end of 2012. A year-long title reign wasn't enough to help Punk get on the level of John Cena, and the numbers went down with him as champion. Punk still delivered good results, but it wasn't good enough for the top position of the company. The bitterness in how he was booked still shows when Punk passively-aggressively mentions WWE these days. Punk couldn't achieve his goal of being the biggest star in the industry, and that likely plays into why he resents the business now. Which is true, because if you ever notice, while he was champion, who was in the main event of a pay-per-view? John Laurinaitis.
Oh, yeah, John Cena, yeah. I know.
When John Laurinaitis is in a main event and you're not,
and it's Punk and Bryan for the title,
then clearly you're not good enough for the company.
No.
And not in their eyes, at least. But next week, are we going up or down? We're going down.
Down.
Going down?
Yes.
How many was there?
15, maybe?
Oh. So next week is Randy Orton. This was number 10 of CM Punk. Randy Orton. He was close to he was like maybe number 2 for a long time.
Yeah.
Number 2. I mean, he took a number 2 in a bag.
He did.
A couple bags.
Yeah, somebody's bag.
I hope they didn't get too messy in there. Might have got warm in that bag.
Yeah. A little smelly.
But next week, Randy Orton.
Yeah, Randy Orton next week. Up next, we do the Top Rope Reality. That's story time.
Story time.
There's 11 chapters. I found that out. But this week on Chapter 9 of Fathers and Sons, who won the same, I have already, the wrestling title. I found another book for us already.
Ooh, another book. I hope it's good.
I think it is. Chapter 9, Rocky Johnson and The Rock, World Tag Team Champions.
What? The final Anoa'i entry in this list. I don't ever have to say that word. Besides marriage, I guess. Because one of them was married into the family.
Yes.
Rocky Johnson and his son, Dwayne, both managed to win the World Tag Team Championships in their respective career. Dwayne often goes by the name The Rock, or so I hear. And won the straps 5 times. I did not know that. The Rock won it 5 times.
You know he's the highest paid celebrity?
Like 64 million?
It's amazing.
It is amazing. That's a lot of money. That's why he don't need the WWE. That's why he comes on there cussing up a storm talking about llama unicorn penises and stuff and don't get in trouble for it.
And his strudel, yes.
And his strudel and pie and points out the people that Kevin Dunn don't want on camera. Who cares, Kevin Dunn?
Because you know what? I don't need you.
He said, you need me, I don't need you.
Right, so I don't need to give you no...
So he had the strap 5 times.
Yes.
With 3 different partners. 3 times. 3 times. With Mick Foley alone. 3 times.
Rock and sock connection.
Exactly. Once with Chris Jericho, and once, I did not know this, with The Undertaker. It's weird.
It must have been a short reign. Must have been a one-night reign.
Papa Rocky Johnson, not Papa Shango, but Papa Rocky Johnson, may have only had 1 tag team title reign, but it was massively important one as he teamed with Tony Atlas when the duo known as the Soul... I did not know they were called the Soul Patrol. I love old Tony Allen.
Soul Patrol.
Soul Patrol. I did not know they were called the Soul Patrol. Yes. So they were known as the Soul Patrol, and they defeated the Wild Samoan. Isn't that interesting? From Anawais to married into Anawais.
Wow.
It's like they probably said, hey, this is who it's going to.
Yeah.
This is the only people we're going to lose it to.
Going down.
And seeing as we're Samoan and we'll kill every one of you, this is what we're going to do. For the titles in November of 1983, they became the first African-American tandem to hold the bouts. The Rock won a load of other titles too, showing us mere mortals that there are benefits to heading to the gym at 5 in the morning.
If you smell the rock.
But you know what? The Vince McMahon has showed us that heading to the gym at 3 o'clock in the morning shows that you're a robot.
Yeah, he just turned 71.
71, going to the gym at 3 o'clock in the morning and sleeping for 2 hours a day. Because that's one of his worst enemies. He hates sleep. He also hates smoking. And he cannot stand sneezing because he feels like he cannot control his own body because sneezing is kind of uncontrollable. So that's one thing that he cannot stand. I bet you people didn't know that.
Farting too. You can't.
Yeah, you can't help farting, but he might laugh at
those.
Yeah. I think he likes those because if you ever notice on Raw, I mean, look at Natalya. She farted for like 6 weeks straight.
Yeah, there's a lot of poop jokes.
A lot of poop jokes. So I think he thinks that's funny. But sneezing, not so much. Not so much.
No character sneezing.
No character sneezing. But yes, this is one of the examples of the son overshadowing the father, just like Randy did with his father.
Oh yes, most definitely.
But I also think Cowboy Bob did that to his father, Bob Sr. Each generation got better.
And John Cena better than his dad.
Well, his dad is a second-generation wrestler backwards.
Yes, he is.
Because he's a manager. He's not really a wrestler.
He's going to be a Russell Cage, so.
Really?
Yeah.
Senior's going to be a wrestler? Really?
Yeah, we'll talk about that next week.
We do have to start going over the list. There's a lot of them. There's some good ones now, too. One of my favorites is Nick Patrick. I hope you didn't hear that because we're going over the list next week. I'm so excited about that, but I probably ain't going. But I'm still excited about it. I thought he was like in a cave somewhere. He disappeared on the face of the earth.
He did.
Thought he was hanging out with Elvis or something, you know? But anyway, yes, The Rock. Jeff Jarrett's another one that did better than his daddy.
Yep.
Randy Orton's another one.
Vince McMahon better than his dad.
Vince McMahon did better than his dad. Made it global, ladies and gentlemen. Universal. Made it Universal.
Ted, nope, sorry.
Oh, no DiBiase.
No.
Who?
Cody Rhodes.
Oh, Cody Rhodes.
No.
He's more athletic than his father ever was.
Nope.
Yeah, the Rhodes weren't better than the daddy. They were both more athletic than their father, but not
championship.
Not championship, not achievement-wise.
No.
But, you had to say this, both of them were Intercontinental Champion, and Dusty never was. But neither one of them were World Champion, and Dusty was.
Yes.
So, I guess you
can't even smell the world title, yes.
Give and take. Did you see Cody Rhodes beat Kurt Angle?
No, I saw he lost to Chris Hero.
Oh, you know, he beat him up with his daddy's fat head. That sounds really bad.
It does.
It's a cutout. Like the Colt Cabana fat heads that they have.
Yes. Somebody had a big fat Dusty head?
A Dusty Rhodes fat head. I think that was during SummerSlam weekend they fought or something. And during the match, Chris Hero went and grabbed it from a fan, jumped up on the top rope, and came down and hit him in the head with a Dusty Rhodes head cutout.
It's a cardboard, for God's sake.
It was a cardboard cutout, but the thing was freaking huge.
Oh, they're huge, yeah.
They're huge, people. And he jumped down and hit him with it. I was like, I guess Cody agreed to it, but that's in poor taste. He beat him with his daddy. That's horrible. I'm going to beat you like your daddy did when you was a kid with your own daddy. That's horrible, man.
That is, man.
Oh, God.
Well, let's get off Rhodes getting beat by Rhodes.
Dusty Rhodes.
Dusty beating Cody. Like old time week. Nobody even likes that. But let's go on.
Did you see, though?
Go ahead. Yes.
You see where Cody said that Dusty told him like 3 years before he ever left to leave.
Yes, I saw that.
But he's like, my daddy just taught to me out of being my father and not out of being a wrestler.
Right.
And so I just ignored him.
Well, Cody said, I saw that too. Cody said he's never going to sign a long-term deal with anybody.
Really? He said he's done doing long-term deals.
Nobody will get a long-term deal again.
So he's his own boss.
Yep.
I mean, he made plenty of money. I mean, come on. He was there for long enough.
And one of the stories they went with, that he wanted them to go with, which would have been a good storyline,
Yes.
but it would have played off him and Eden being husband and wife, like we already know. And she'll try to draw Cody out of the Stardust character but she gets sucked into that, like a Harley Quinn Joker thing.
Ooh.
I think that would have been good.
Our camera lady has her headphones and she would have liked that.
I think it would have been good. See Eden all sweet and turn to the crazy Harley Quinn type with Stardust? Come on. And they said no. No one he left. I'd leave too. You keep trying to give ideas and they keep shooting you down.
Right. Either give me Cody or make Eden into a Stardust character. And they say no to all of it.
Yeah.
That's very creative. I like that.
Oh yeah. I don't blame him.
But hey, he's on Arrow, so he don't need to be done.
And he'll probably be back. He might do a year deal like the Dudley Boys do.
Either that or just do one-off matches.
Yeah.
But either way, he's on Arrow now. He doesn't need to be.
Right now, the independent scene, you can make as much as working with a promotion.
Apparently.
So
unless you're in the South, because I would know these things.
Yes.
You are north
promotion.
If you're in the UK, Mexico, Japan, all the northern United States or Canada, you're good.
Yes.
Don't go to Florida, Alabama, Georgia.
There's just nothing that big that's taking control. So.
Not anymore. No. Continental's gone, people. It's dead.
Yeah.
Even though there is a company that runs this Continental Championship Wrestling. Sad, ain't it?
That is sad.
But anyway, we got to move on. We're
going to finish up here with the 13 biggest matches WWE should have booked in the 80s, but did not. Bob Backlund versus Hulk Hogan coming in #1 on this list.
They're wrong on this one. This is bad.
It is.
The old generation passing the torch to the new generation has never been an easy match to book. It's also an incredibly tough match to even identify as far as which performer will end up being the company's banner carrier for the next generation. The company has long underestimated the value of two mammoth fan favorites colliding, and given the two men's careers and name recognition, Hogan versus Backlund tops the list for what could have been the biggest match to never happen in the 80s. Backlund was the champion in the face of Vincent James McMahon's WWF. Prior to Hulkamania, when Vincent Kennedy McMahon took over the company, he wanted a more muscular and charismatic champion and wanted Backlund to turn heel, drop the title to Hogan, his new golden boy. When Backlund refused to turn heel, which he was a great heel with the whole thing with Bret Hart, great heel.
Was.
The crazy chicken wing thing. Vince Jr. needed a transitional champion to get the title off Backlund and onto Hogan. See, nowadays, if you refused, you would just get fired. Back then, he kind of needed those people.
Yes.
And on to Hogan and selected the Iron Sheik for that role. Had this situation unfolded today, there's no question, Hogan versus Backlund would have been booked for the main event of WrestleMania, but it was a much different time in the early 80s. Even 10 years after the transition from Backlund to Hogan as the WWF's flagship performer, the company had changed only slightly. A technical masterpiece? Perhaps not. But especially if this bout took place as, say, the main event of WrestleMania 2, the biggest match ever up to that point, and a big draw it would have been. I don't think their styles would work very well, though.
No,
but of course, it would have been better than Hogan and King Kong Bundy, wasn't that 2?
Yeah.
That was 2, right?
Yeah, that was 2.
It would have been better than that. Because nobody likes WrestleMania 2. It's, everybody loves 1, everybody loves 3. They just skipped 2. Is it 2 where they had 3 different locations?
Yeah.
See, that's another sour point that nobody
5
likes.
matches in each part. And so.
No, when everybody talks about it, that's a big point that they say was a bad part of it.
Yeah.
But also King Kong Bundy and Hulk Hogan was a bad idea.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't have a problem with Bundy, but it wasn't a good selling point. Apparently, it didn't really.
Backlund Hogan probably. I mean, if you'd build it right, Backlund Hogan probably would have done good.
I mean, Hogan in that tag match against Piper and Orndorff obviously built up and delivered right. And of course, Hogan and Andre was going to deliver right. Just something about Hogan and King Kong Bundy didn't deliver correctly. Mm-hmm. Well, yes, and now that we see that Backlund could be a good heel, it would have worked. But would he have known how to play that heel role back then like he did with Bret Hart?
I don't know.
I don't think he was just there mentally to be able to figure out how to do it, which he ain't there mentally.
Him with Darren Young now, it ain't working.
I'm wondering if that's why they beat the crap out of him. Titus O'Neil beat the crap out of him to get rid of him.
Maybe.
He's like 78 years old or something. He's old. Which I hope he did. I hope they did the medical test with him.
They probably did.
Because you cannot beat up somebody just like they can't touch Flair. They can't touch Jerry Lawler, stuff like that. So they better have done the testing on Bob Backlund.
But we'll see.
Just saying.
We'll see if he's going or not.
I think he needs to be. It didn't work the way they wanted to.
The fuse's not working anyway.
Well, of course not. Titus O'Neil does need work on the microphone. But
he does need work on it. Yes, he does. But I'm glad they gave it to him.
Well, of course.
You have to learn from your mistakes.
You have to learn on the fly. You got to throw you into the fire sometimes.
That's right. And him making mistakes, he won't make those mistakes.
Because he didn't come up in the performance center to have time to be able to make mistakes like that. So now you got to do it on the fly.
You learn from your mistakes. People tell you should have done this. You should have thrown it out more. You tripped on your lines a little bit, and next time it'll get better. It'll get better. You give him the mic. Don't just if they take it away from him, he won't gain anything.
No. If they say, well, that was a horrible promo, you're never talking again, then he hasn't gained anything from that.
He won't learn anything from that.
Exactly.
Give him the mic again, go out there again, hey, it's one. You got to fill the crowd, you got to fill up the crowd.
And another way for him to learn to do that is do them on live events where there's no camera around. That also helps.
Yeah.
But work it like there's a hard camera. Work it like there's a hard camera.
Yeah, he made a few mistakes, and I mean, I understand. But I felt good about making mistakes. I knew that he wasn't reading off a freaking script.
Right. And at least they gave him time to talk.
Maybe they'll get away from that now.
I hope so. But either way, I mean, the Backlund and Darren Young thing, it felt awkward from the very beginning. There's nothing. I don't have anything against either one of them.
It's just a thing.
The Donald Trump thing. Which I get it, because he, Backlund talking about being president, blah, blah, blah. I get it. I understand
it. They just slap in the face. They keep saying Darren Young's never been great to begin with. It's just funny.
But it's kind of true. They never gave him that a chance to be good in the first place.
And the man he could have beat, Miz, is now spending life. So he's not being Rusev.
No.
He's not being Universal Champion.
No.
He'll
beat Titus.
He may shrink down enough to be in the cruiserweights.
I think he's too big for that.
But I don't know. He's pretty big.
But he's under 205 now.
Well, Darren can get on 205, but that's about it. I mean, what you going to give him? Hook him with somebody else to be a tag team champion again?
But clearly he's not. I mean,
they're taking on New Day right now. And then if Gallows and Anderson gets it, they're not taking on them. He's stupid.
He'll beat Titus O'Neil, and that's pretty much as far as the things go.
Yeah.
I don't see where they're going with them. I honestly don't, for neither one of them.
I think Darren would have been better on SmackDown Live.
Of course.
I think he had more opportunities. It'd be in a tag team. Or the Intercontinental title. More titles there for him right now. So.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think there's a missed opportunity with him. And I'm not saying they should have capitalized on the gay announcement. I'm not saying anything against it, but what I'm saying is I don't think that they took the opportunity to say, okay, he's in the limelight. We don't have to make him a gay character.
No.
We already know he really is in real life. That's fine. But you don't have to play off of that. You can make little
like
remarks.
They did with that guy who took on Braun Strowman this past week.
What about it?
They asked him why would he take a match against Braun Strowman?
Okay.
Because he likes to be grabbed by big sweaty men.
And see, if they're going with that, with the LGBT characters, that was the wrong way to do that.
Yeah.
That right there already just makes it sound bad.
Yeah.
But
it's like,
it's Johnny Knoxville.
And they went, well, he don't stay in the match long enough to be sweaty. Okay, we feel a little awkward now.
Right. But Darren Young would have known how to play it off correctly without being weird.
Yeah,
obviously.
That dude was weird, and then big sweaty man, okay.
But they should have capitalized on just him being out in the limelight. TMZ picked up on it. This other place, and that other news site, and that other news site. Pick up on, give him a push then. They literally did nothing with him after that. I understand not capitalizing on, well, this guy is gay, and so that's why he's wrestling. No. He's wrestling, he's getting more of a push because y'all are talking about him. You gave him publicity, which in turn is giving WWE publicity, so in turn we're giving him more of an opportunity because y'all clearly have interest in him.
Yes.
That's the way you look at it. You don't look at it as, I'm giving him a push because he's gay, because then that sounds bad.
It does. We will see where it goes. I mean, right now...
That's like saying, well, I'm giving him a push because he's straight. It has nothing to do with any of that stuff.
Shouldn't be nothing to do with it, right?
It has to do with your talent, which Darren Young, I do think, is talented.
Yeah.
But number one, they never did the primetime players correctly. I think their missed opportunity just as much as Crime Time was.
Yep.
Which I know they had a similar money, yeah. Crime Time did the whole money thing too.
Right.
But both teams were a missed opportunity. They really were. I think that as primetime players, that was the best thing for them. And sometimes the best thing for a person is in a tag team, and that's okay. You don't all have to be singles wrestlers. If they're all singles wrestlers, guess what? There's less chances for you to get on TV.
And that kills the tag team division.
Exactly.
So they break up Enzo and Cass, kills that team, because that team's not need to break up right now.
No. Because they already just lost the Dudley Boys. They don't need to lose any more teams. No. But when you text me and said primetime players versus so-and-so, I said, okay, primetime players, and they're going to get managed by Bob Backlund, kind of like, old guy like Mr. Fuji, blah, blah, blah. I was fine with that. That would have been perfectly fine. And he could have mentored them back to the top of the division. Mm-hmm. Because he's been to the top of the mountain. Things like that.
It writes itself.
It does write itself.
But they showed the thing from earlier with the pre-show, and Titus said, one time only.
But instead, you do a tag team thing and you beat the crap out of your partner. I mean, whatever. It is what it is.
It is what it is.
I don't see where they're going, though, with Darren Young. I just don't. I think they're confusing themselves.
Yeah.
So.
Well, that is it for this week. We went off a little sidetrack.
We're always on a sidetrack tangent, but it happens.
That's funny how Bob Backlund and Hulk Hogan turned in to talk about the primetime players, so.
We stay relevant, though. We stay relevant.
We'll stay, yes. Bob's connected with Darren Young and Titus.
The 80s turned into the current age.
Yes. But next time on Top Row Red, we're going to talk about ringside news.
As always.
Always. We're going to
who's fired, who's hired, who passed away.
Review, yes. Not many of those. Backlash, we got 2 more. We're going to kind of discuss what's happening on this year's Backlash.
Yes. And plus, since we're almost done by next week when we do Backlash, we will tell you what the next pay-per-views will be.
Okay.
WWE Stars That Fell as the Guy in Part 4. The biggest matches WWE should have put to the 90s, but did not. Also in Part 4.
We'll go over the Cruiserweight Classic Tournament quarterfinal matches.
Yeah, I saw that. I was like, what?
We'll also do the Top Rope storyline.
Story
time.
Close enough.
It is close enough. They barred for the list.
That does not miss.
Plus so much more.
So much.
So come on back to Top Rope Rally next week.
For the big 115.
Labor Day weekend as well.
Labor Day weekend, so while you're sitting, chilling, hanging out, at least 1 or 2 videos might already be up by Monday. For your Labor Day holiday, you can hang out with your family and watch more Backlash, since apparently people love it.
Hopefully so. It's not like a typo or something.
Hopefully it's not a typo. Hopefully YouTube didn't get confused.
Me too. I'm Hogan.
I'm Justin Carter.
And we'll see you next week.